So off they all went to discover the pole, and as they walked, they chatted to each other of this and that, all except Pooh, who was making up a song.
"This is the first verse,"
he said to Piglet when he was ready with it.
First verse of what?
"My song."
What song?
"This one."
Which one?
"Well, if you listen, Piglet, you'll hear it."
How do you know I'm not listening?
Pooh couldn't answer that one, so he began to sing.
They all went off to discover the pole, Owl and Piglet and Rabbit and all. It's a thing you discover, as I've been told, by Owl and Piglet and Rabbit and all. Eeyore, Christopher, Robin and Pooh, and Rabbit's relations all went too, and where the pole was none of them knew. Sing hey for Owl and Rabbit and all.
"Hush!"
said Christopher Robin, turning round to Pooh.
"We're just coming to a dangerous place."
"Hush!"
said Pooh, turning round quickly to Piglet.
Hush!
said Piglet to Kanga.
"Hush!"
said Kanga to Owl, while Roo said,
"Hush!"
several times to himself, very quietly.
"Hush!"
said Owl to Eeyore.
"Hush!"
said Eeyore in a terrible voice to all Rabbit's friends and relations, and hush, they said hastily to each other all down the line, until it got to the last one of all, and the last and smallest friend and relation was so upset to find that the whole expedition was saying hush to him that he buried himself head downwards in a crack in the ground and stayed there for 2 days until the danger was over, and then went home in a great hurry and lived quietly with his aunt ever afterwards. His name was Alexander Beetle. They had come to a stream which twisted and tumbled between high rocky banks, and Christopher Robin saw at once how dangerous it was.
"It's just the place,"
he explained.
"for an ambush."
"What sort of bush?"
whispered Pooh to Piglet.
"A gorse bush?"
"My dear Pooh,"
said Owl in his superior way.
"don't you know what an ambush is?"
Owl?
said Piglet, looking round at him severely.
Pooh's whisper was a perfectly private whisper, and there was no need.
"An ambush,"
said Owl.
"is a sort of surprise."
"So is a gorse bush sometimes,"
said Pooh.
An ambush, as I was about to explain to Pooh,
said Piglet.
is a sort of surprise.
"If people jump out at you suddenly, that's an ambush,"
said Owl.
It's an ambush, Pooh, when people jump at you suddenly,
explained Piglet. Pooh, who now knew what an ambush was, said that a gorse bush had sprung at him suddenly one day when he fell off a tree, and he had taken 6 days to get all the prickles out of himself.
"We are not talking about gorse bushes,"
said Owl a little crossly.
"I am,"
said Pooh. They were climbing very cautiously up the stream now, going from rock to rock, and after they had gone a little way they came to a place where the banks widened out at each side, so that on each side of the water there was a level strip of grass on which they could sit down and rest. As soon as they saw this, Christopher Robin called,
"Halt!"
and they all sat down and rested.
"I think,"
said Christopher Robin,
"that we ought to eat all our provisions so that we shan't have so much to carry."
"Eat all our what?"
said Pooh.
all that we've brought.
Said Piglet, getting to work.
"That's a good idea,"
said Pooh, and he got to work too.
"Have you all got something?"
asked Christopher Robin with his mouth full.
"All except me,"
said Eeyore.
"As usual."
He looked round at them in his melancholy way.
"I suppose none of you are sitting on a thistle by any chance?"
"I believe I am,"
said Pooh.
"Ow!"
He got up and looked behind him.
"Yes, I was. I thought so."
"Thank you, Pooh, if you've quite finished with it."
He moved across to Pooh's place and began to eat.